All right, welcome back. So we are back on the Fireteam. We're gonna finish putting it together. Went ahead and did the center diff on the last video. I went ahead and cleaned everything up. So now it's time to put everything back together. So we're just at that point where I need to finish reassembling this thing. Let's see. So I think the first thing we really need to do is just plug everything in. So plan is to get it out today and see how this center diff has really made a change. So here's our wire for the handbrake, which is kind of in the way, but we need to get this side put back on, I guess. I remember, hopefully I got it face the right direction, because I remember it was short, long. At least I think it was this way. Let's see. Yep. Well, I know this wire fits in here, so I guess we'll just stick that one in for now. Short, long. I think it was short, short, and then long. See if that looks right. Kind of looks right. That is backwards. I've done that once before where I've installed this backwards. And here's where I need to add that zip tie. So that this doesn't get close to the pinion we stuck in. There we go. Now I guess we'll get the wheels on. Somebody was saying that my wires were getting in the way for the body latching, but what I do is I clip this into this holder when the battery's on so that it's not in the way. But I still have a tough time getting this body on, especially with the sides. Oh, see, this one didn't go in. There we go. That's better. But I seem to always miss one of the sides. So these have a V for the direction. Come on. So I think the next thing I do is I need to replace some of the screws that are missing on the body. And some of the screws, well, they're not really missing. I think they got ripped through, like that one. So that'll be the next thing I do, is repair up all the missing screws. Well, not missing, the pulled through screws, and I guess add washers. That's what people were saying that you have to do, is add some washers to the body, because the screws are kind of small. These wheel nuts are kind of a pain to get in too, because I can't get my fingers in there. Recondition all the plastic at the beginning of the week when I cleaned up the body, and I have to take a look in why the one wheel is bent in. So I have to look at basically the pin on the front. But did this bolt pull out too? No, it seems to be just the one side. See if I can find the... Yeah, that's the one. Just looking for any screws that, any other screws that have pulled out. Now I know there's one in here. wonder why that's under so much tension. Seems to be the only two screws that pulled out. See if it clips on a little better now. So those wires are out of the way, because they're normally clipped, and then the sides have to go in. Yep, fits back to normal now. It's just those screws pulled out. So let me plug a battery in. And see if the handbrake still works. Let me grab the controller, get it up off the ground, we'll check the handbrake. Be right back. All right. See how it locks up all four wheels now? Because the fluid's so thick. I'll bring you guys in a little closer. So this was just adding a little 500K to the fluid that was already in there. So I'll have the remote here. I'm going to hit this button here so that you can see the handbrake working. When you add thick fluid, this is what happens to the handbrake. See how all four lock up? It just ends up locking all four tires. But it's going to handle better, but now the handbrake is pretty much useless for what I'm going to do with it. But I got the high-speed pinion in it now. And you can tell the center diff is a lot stiffer. So we really can't use the handbrake anymore. And that was my big concern. And that was just going to 500K in the center. And I didn't even drain out the fluid that was in there. I just added a little bit to it just to top it off. And just by adding a little 500K to it, it is now locked up all four wheels with the handbrake. So, yeah, there we go. That's what I was afraid of. So I'm going to go ahead and get this thing charged up. And we're going to take it out for a rip. And then eventually we're going to remove this handbrake because it's not going to work for me in this style. But we'll see if I like the way it's acting with the 500K. Now I am worried about a little bit about, let me get these wires locked in too. I am worried about the gearing right now because I have the speed gearing in it, which that's really not good. I was getting higher temps already with the factory pinion in there. So, but I need more wheel speed. And I need the rear to drive more than the front, because what was happening with the thin diff fluid is when I would start to go off a jump and I'm trying to drive off the rear and the front end up off the jump, The rear can't push because it would diff out and just spin the front, and then it would nosedive. So the thicker fluid should stop that, but it's now made my handbrake pretty much inoperable. But the body's fitting back on nice, so I'm gonna get it charged back up. We got it all cleaned up, and then I'm gonna go give it a little test on the speed bump today. Then we're gonna take it back out to some dirt and see if we can get this front end to keep coming up now, and we're gonna keep an eye on the temperature. But there we go. Like, comment, subscribe. My Fireteam is all back together. You can tell it's looking new again because it's only been run 2 times, bashing it. So, and everybody said I was destroying it, but as you can tell, those impacts weren't as bad as you guys, well, people were thinking they were. It's just, you know, I mean, it's all here. It's all together. You know, it's, it was just dirty. I didn't really beat this thing up to where it was all busted up everywhere. But I ran it hard and ran it like I run all my other RCs. And just like Arrma Tough, it held through. It did pull a couple screws through. I think 2 to be exact. 1 on the inside, 1 on the outside. But other than that, everything else is still there. Body's not ripped. Nothing's ripped. Front bumper's not broken. Rear bumper's not broken. So we're good to go. So I'm going to get, well, actually, I'm going to probably run 2 3S batteries because people were saying this 7000 6S is not going to work. And I actually picked up a couple of 5300s. I think these are 50C. 5300 50C. I have to get the XT90 changed out and get it switched over, which I've got a couple connectors here that we're going to get that done with, and we'll get it out and rip it. Like, comment, subscribe. Catch you guys on my next video. Thanks for watching.